What's up, guys? It is Charles Rara, and yes, you are correct. Welcome back to another bonus episode for, surprisingly, Pokemon Emerald. Yeah, sure, not a lot of you thought we were ever coming back to this series, but with the magic of certain glitching mechanics, we have a somewhat lost episode, I guess, for Pokemon Emerald. As you'll notice, this is being recorded on a Game Boy player with the GameCube, so it's not the same save file that we had for the original LP, but that is not the main focus of today's video. Today, we are going to be doing something very special, because there was an event that I tried to show off back in the original series that unfortunately didn't work. Today, we're going to do that event in its entirety, properly, in an actual cartridge of Pokemon Emerald. But before we get into that, first off, I should probably talk to you guys about where I've been, because it's been about a year, 5 months. I was about to say a year, but it's been 5 months since my last upload. And yeah, not a lot of stuff's been coming out, even though I've had videos ready to be pushed out since last year. I didn't have any of Ratchet & Clank to put out, so I just pushed off putting everything out until I had stuff ready to go, and things just kept getting in the way, like my laptop that I used to record completely died on me, so I had to buy a new one, which I finally did this year. Traveling, I've been doing a lot of traveling recently, to other countries, interstate, all that sort of stuff. University has been hectic, but that's all sorted out of the way now. I'm graduating Thursday, so 2 days after this video comes out. But I think we're all wondering what the main focus of today's video is. If you watched the Let's Play series, you should be able to figure out what event we are covering today. But if you haven't already, let's load up that save file and show you guys what we are going to be doing today. We are back on Southern Island, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, with the magic of Pome glitching and glitzer popping. I was able to manipulate the game to basically spawn in the NPC who has the who gives you the item for the gives you the Eon ticket item that takes you here. As you can see, this is a different trainer card than the original LP. I've been working my way through the Battle Frontier as well. I have the silver symbol for the Battle Factory, as you saw just before. Look at the team. We've got Mizugo the Swampert, because some things never change. We've got a Latios, a Salamence, an Absol, Izzy, like Izzy and Absol, still the same. A Blaziken, which is just a shameless reference to another Emerald Let's Play. But yeah, this was a playthrough I did this year because I finally got my hands on every single Generation 3 game, so I wanted to kind of play through all of them, try and complete the Battle Frontier, complete the Pokedex, get as much stuff as I can, and luckily, I was able to get myself the Eon ticket to actually do this event properly, which it was a really surreal experience. Also, by the way, this is post-commentary I should put out because I recorded this video at, I think, 1 o'clock in the morning, because that's when I finally got the glitch to work. And the main reason we are here as well is for this guy, Latios. Because I'm taking on the Battle Frontier, I want to have a Latios that is as powerful as it can possibly be. And to do that, you need the Soul Dew. And to get the Soul Dew, you have to do the Southern Island event. However, as of recording this audio, I have now learned that the Soul Dew doesn't do anything in the Battle Frontier. So this whole endeavor was more or less for naught, at least for the reason that I initially planned to do it. But we get a nice little video out of it, and we get to finally see an event that we have been missing for quite some time. And this is probably, like, outside of buying the ticket yourself and doing the event that way and then transferring it into Emerald, this is I guess, the most legitimate way you could do this event today, because it is still all on an actual cartridge of Pokemon Emerald. You are not using a Game Shark or anything. You are using, I want to say, a mechanic in the game. Also, showing off Latias, which is the Pokemon we will be encountering today, because we caught Latios. Well, I decided to catch Latios in the actual game because that was the Pokemon I wanted to use for the Battle Frontier. But yeah, also showing off Jirachi, which was also Pome glitched into the game. But I'll get to talking more about Pome glitching and glitzer popping and really like the kind of like the science behind that once we get into the video and into the battle with Latios, as well as talking a little bit about the Eon Ticket event as well, because I don't think I covered it a whole lot in my video when I talked about it, because I couldn't do the event, so I was like, I just won't even bother talking about it if I can't do it. But we're here now. We have the Aeon ticket. We're here completely legitimately. So I think all that's left to do is to interact with the stone, have an awesome cutscene play out while Latios just comes down from above, and let the battle begin. So yes, this is Latias, level 50. Pretty, not too bad. Also, it says I've caught a Latias. That's because I traded over the Latias I caught in my copy of Sapphire. It's not that I've done this. You can't do this event multiple times or anything like that. Latias, or this Latias specifically, has the moves Psychic, Calm Mind, Mr. Ball, and Recover, if I remember correctly. I might be wrong about the Calm Mind. I think it might have something different, but I am sure about Recover, Mist Ball, and Psychic. Luckily for us, pretty sure I've got a Dark type with me, and Mist Ball and Psychic are both Psychic moves, so I think at some point I throw Yami out there just to kind of take the hits, because Latias just can't touch me, really. But, yeah, so let's talk about the Aeon Ticket event itself for a little bit, because I really didn't talk about it a whole lot. I think I talked about it just a little bit, or the way events were done back in Generation 3, but I've since now actually got an entire document with me right now, full of information, so that I can tell you guys all about this wonderful event. Ooh, lowered the accuracy, that's pretty nice. Not a bad way to start the fight, although Mizugura is looking a little bit worse for wear. I don't know why I haven't decided to just... I don't know why I just let Mizugura die. I don't know why I didn't just decide to swap into my Dark type that can't be hit by any of Latias' moves, but oh well. So, yeah, released back in 2003 for Ruby and Sapphire, the Aeon ticket was distributed in various methods around the world, and it differed, I believe, between North America, Europe, and definitely Japan, because this is back when Japan got all the nice things, and we didn't really see much of that sort of stuff, especially not down here in Australia. But yeah, so in North America, the Aeon ticket could be transferred to the games through the mystery events using an e-reader and the Aeon ticket card, and in Europe it was possible to get the Aeon ticket as promotional events, but it could also be downloaded through mystery events from special Nintendo cartridges via the link cable. This is also back before we had specific distribution carts like we do now. Well, say we do now. We don't have them anymore. Back at around the time of the DS games, when specific distribution carts were introduced, their pure focus, it was a DS cart. All it would do is send out a signal that would connect to other games through the mystery gift, and then distribute you your gift for, like, say, the secret key for Platinum, not the Azure Flute, we never got that one either, that was a Japan only thing as well, but like Oak's Letter for Shaman, the Odd Key, I think was the one for Darkrai, and so on and so forth. This is back when there were actual cartridges that you had to connect with, that would actually give you the item or the Pokemon. I remember when it came to distributing Pokemon, it would just be that the cartridge had every box and all the party filled with that specific Pokemon, and it would just trade it to you. So you could trade them like a Zigzagoon, and you'd get like Mew or Celebi or whatever, like whatever the distribution Pokemon was at the time. But yeah, previously the ticket could only be obtained in Emerald, like we're doing now, by method of mixing records with a Ruby and Sapphire card that already had it on there. However, if the Ruby and Sapphire cart had to mix say if the Ruby and Sapphire cart that had the Aeon ticket got that Aeon ticket by mixing records, it would not be able to then pass the chain on to Emerald. You had to get it through the e-reader ticket or through distribution at an event to your Ruby and Sapphire cartridge. Then you could mix records with Emerald, pass it on that way, and then I'm not sure if you can keep passing it on through Emerald. I have a friend, Michael actually wants to get the Aeon ticket off of me, because he's looking to play through the event and get the Sword for his team as well. So we haven't tried it yet, even though I've had this Aeon ticket for months now. But when I do finally try and mix records with him and give him the Aeon ticket, we'll let you know how it goes. We'll probably give you an update in like a Paper Mario video or something like that. But yeah, it was distributed in Toys R Us stores, the Aeon ticket e-reader card. For a limited time, the card transfers the Aeon ticket via mystery events to the key items pocket of the US version of Ruby Sapphire. However, if the, like I said, the ticket was already mixed into the game through mixing records, you can't mix it into Emerald, and I don't think you can actually mix it into another Ruby and Sapphire game either. This is also the only place in the game where you can acquire the Soldo item, which essentially works as like a Calm Mind, sort of, only for Latios and Latias, which starts both Pokemon off with having their special attack and special defense boosted 1 level, so it's basically like giving them a Calm Mind straight off the bat. Really, really useful for the Battle Frontier, where I would really like to use it. However, the item, not functional in the Battle Frontier, because I guess they banned Legendaries from being in there. Like, you can't use Rayquaza, Groudon, Kyogre, any of those Pokemon. So, Latios and Latias are legal. However, they are kind of also they're legendary Pokemon as well. And then if you gave them the Soldo, they'd kind of just be this unstoppable force that could just sweep the entire frontier, I guess. Except for the Battle Factory, because, you know, Battle Factory is fun, where you don't get to choose what your Pokemon are. I've still been trying to get the gold symbol in the Battle Frontier. Well, sorry, for the Battle Factory, and, man, nothing will crush your soul more than that thing will. Like, goddamn. So many runs have just been ended by, hey, I'm gonna freeze you for 5 turns while my entire team sweeps you. Or, hey, we're just gonna give you Pokemon that aren't good, just aren't useless. We'll give you 6 water types and then make you fight a trainer that has nothing but electric or grass types. Good luck, sport. Also, I guess did I run out of balls? I was not paying attention to what was actually happening on screen real quick. Yeah, okay, yep, we're switching Yami into the front. Smart move, correct. I think I might have run out of balls or something. I think something happened or died or something. I wasn't actually paying attention. I was too busy reading my notes. Whoops. Anyway, but yeah, the Battle Factory is just a pain, because it's the randomness of it as well that makes it so annoying, because you can't properly prepare, at least for like the Battle Tower or the Battle Dome. I can be like, here's my team, here's how I've prepared them, here's how I'm going to use them in this situation. With the Factory, it's like, I'm just going by the seat of my pants. You can obviously look up a list of all of the Frontier Pokemon. I know there's a list on Smogon that has like the entire list, so you can look up the Pokemon's movesets that you'll be given, because the Pokemon in the Factory are basically taken from every other trainer in the Battle Frontier, and so you're just using their Pokemon. So you can look it up that way, so you could kind of look at your opponent's team and be like, oh, okay, he's using a Misdreavus in set 3, so that means it'll have these moves, or he's got an Electabuzz and we're in round 2, so I need to watch out for this move or that move. And it also, you know, tells you what the next Pokemon trainer's specialty is, like water, fire, grass, whatever. So there's a little bit of strategy into it, but the randomness of the Pokemon you're given is just so ridiculous, and I'll get it one day, but it's gonna be a pain, one way or another. There will be tears. There will definitely be tears. But, anyway, going back to the topic of the video and the Eontic, and more specifically Pomeg glitching, or glitzer popping, as it has been commonly referred to, where basically what glitzer popping is using the Pomeg glitch to reduce your Pokemon's HP below 1, so it appears fainted, but you're still in the overworld and you haven't been sent back to a Pokemon Center yet. And the way that you basically do this is you prepare a party with a Pokemon to switch into, or your switch Pokemon, and a Pokemon that has at least some EVs in HP, because you need to take away those EVs so that its HP drops below 0. So this is kind of considered your Pomeg Pokemon, something that you can lower its HP down to 0 pretty quickly. People have found using ghost types like Bayonet or I think Duskull, anything that can get the move Curse is really useful, because you can just Curse and then halve your HP, and then I think Cursing again brings you down lower, or some method to lower your HP down to basically 1. You want it on 1 HP. Poisoning, I think, is also a method as well, because your Pokemon's HP drops by 1 every 5 steps, so you get it poisoned somehow, you run around a bunch, heal it when it, or not heal it, but heal the poison when it gets to 1, and then you can drop it down. You then enter, you need to have, so you've got your Pomeg Pokemon, which is on 1 HP, and you've got your Switch Pokemon, which can be on any HP really. Also, good advice maybe to have your Switch Pokemon be something that can use Fly, like a Wingull or something like that, just in case you get stuck in an area and you can't get away. So you enter a battle you enter a battle first, and then you switch into your Switch Pokemon, and then just run. After that, you deposit the Switch Pokemon into the Pokemon storage system, and then either use a Pomeg Berry or on the Pomeg Pokemon to obtain negative HP, and then heal it to raise its HP back to 0, or have the Pokemon's HP drop to 0 without having to use a healing item. Then, when you enter a battle again, you'll throw out this weird, like, question mark thing. Basically, when you're going through, when you go through the Pokedex, and any Pokemon that you haven't seen has the question mark circle, I think it's called a Deca mark, that will be thrown out instead, because the game doesn't, the game gets confused, because you shouldn't be able to throw out this Pokemon, because it's already fainted, but you still have, so it gets all confused. You then open the Pokemon menu and view the summary of the first fainted Pokemon, which will be your Pomeg Pokemon. Exit the summary screen and scroll up or down to access the cancel option. From the cancel menu, you scroll up to start corrupting the data and accessing Pokemon beyond slot 6. However, you need to be wary, because if you scroll up too many times, you may end up crashing your game, and that's not our desired result. So you want to keep scrolling up, corrupting memory until you hit the specific memory bit that you want in order to corrupt or to get your desired result. This glitching method is most commonly used for producing bad eggs and then double corrupting them into Pokemon that were previously unavailable, either through events or getting, I think you can use them to get like good IV Pokemon perhaps, but like their main use is like, hey, I want to get a Deoxys, or I want to get a Mew. It's like the Jirachi you saw earlier in the video that was in my Pokedex. That Pokemon was glitched into existence by Michael, who did the double corruption glitch on some bad eggs. If you want more information about that method of Pomeg glitching, I'll link down below to a couple of good resources that I used for information for this video, like Bulbapedia and all that. They have some really good articles on there about that where you can read, and it also gives you advice, because there are certain trade Pokemon that you can get in this game that has a higher chance of giving you I think they need specific EVs or IVs to be good egg Pokemon, or to be good Pokemon to turn into bad eggs, and they're given titles such as like Corruptors and I think like Enablers or something like that. So you actually do have to be kind of clever about the Pokemon that you're using to make these bad eggs and stuff like that. I personally haven't gotten too far into that side of it yet. I will need to at some point if I want to get a complete Pokedex, because that's the only way you can get Mew and Deoxys, because as Michael and I also found out, a glitched Deoxys or Mew doesn't have, or won't pass the obedience check by the game, meaning that you can't trade it. It is deemed just untradeable. It would be like if you're trying to trade a Hoenn Pokemon to Fire Red and Leaf Green before they have the National Dex, or before having the ability to like trade with Ruby and Sapphire. It just won't let you. So that's kind of interesting. So for Mew and Deoxys, you will have to look into glitzer popping and Pomeg glitching those in yourself with the bad eggs. But so long as you're careful about it and don't completely go off the rails with it, it should be okay. Just be wary, because apparently any Pokemon in box 1 and 2 have a very strong chance of just being completely corrupted. So if you don't want to lose all of your hard-earned Pokemon, maybe clear those boxes. You've got 13 other ones that you can stick them in, so I'm sure you can find somewhere else to put those precious Pokemon of yours. But yeah, so the main way I used it for, it also can manipulate. It can manipulate a lot of things, actually. It can manipulate bag items, wild encounters, moving beyond the daycare. Like apparently you can walk into the area behind the daycare, which is pretty neat. But the reason I wanted to use it for was because you can manipulate certain NPCs and their spawning addresses. So you can trick the game into spawning these NPCs that originally either would have strict requirements to spawn them in, like going to an event, or that were never that were still in the game's programming, but the way that you could spawn them just wasn't available to you. Like for the PAL and NTSC versions of Pokemon Emerald, spawning in the NPCs that gives you the Eon ticket, which is what I wanted. And let me tell you, it's still, like, you may think, oh, he's only trying to spawn an NPC, so the way I had to do it was basically all I needed to do was do the first steps, where I then went into the beyond slot 6 of my party, and then I just kept going and going and going until I hit my correct memory ID. So you'd think, oh, that's not too hard, it doesn't seem that bad. Oh, trust me, it is, because not only do you have to, like, I still had to hit the correct memory byte, but it was very finicky on what memory byte was considered the correct one. I read a bunch of stuff online saying, oh, you need to hit this one, or so-and-so says only press the up button this many times and it should get it every time. Like, you're trying to hit a very specific window of memory to corrupt to get this NPC to spawn. So it's still pretty challenging. It wasn't something I could just knock out in a simple afternoon. This was something, because also, if you don't get it right, you have to then do the whole process of, you know, going into battle with the switching into the switch Pokemon, putting it back in the PC, Pome glitching your Pokemon back down to no health, healing it back up, going into the battle, going through the whole thing again. So it's not a fast process. It's not like, oh, I messed up, reset, try again. Like, it takes, I think one attempt is about 5-ish minutes, and you know, if you're having a really tough time hitting that specific window, it can take you a fair while. It took me, I think, a couple of weeks before I finally got my Eon ticket that would take me to Southern Island, but I'm glad that I finally got it, because at least I got to experience an event that, you know, how many people today could say, oh yeah, no, I like could load up a copy of Pokemon Emerald today and be like, oh yeah, I can go and do the Southern Island event, or I can do the new, what is it, New Birth Island event. Like, it's pretty cool. But yeah, if you're interested in trying it out for yourself, check out the links in the description. And I think actually, 3, 4, there we go. And on that note, we caught our Latias. I will say I did memorize the HP that Absol dropped to when, right before we caught it, so I'm like, oh, okay, I know when I should start rounding off the conversation. But yeah, so that was the battle against Latias. But we're not quite done yet, because we've got to look at our fancy new Pokemon that we just caught. Also, now that we can see Southern Island, it is the most southern part of the map. Surprise, surprise. In Ruby and Sapphire, I don't believe you can return to Southern Island. However, I believe in Emerald, you are still allowed to go back there. Just, you know, there won't be a Latias or anything waiting for you. It will just be an empty island like it was back when we first tried to do the event. But yeah, so there it is. Level 50. Dragon Psychic, Levitate for its ability, holding the Soldu. And a Charm, not Calm Mind, Charm, there we go. Pretty okay stats, I guess. But like I said, that is really not what we are here for. We are here for its Soldu. Also, I guess, yeah, the other Pokemon I was playing the game with. For this playthrough, I decided I'd use all 3 starter Pokemon. So I had, yeah, my Sceptile, my Blaziken, and my Swampert, which I also cloned. I'd recommend making a clone of whatever Pokemon you're going to use as your Pomeg Pokemon. Actually, using a Pokemon that you went through the story with is not a bad idea, because they will have already had some HP EVs. Also, you can kind of see the rest of my box. There's Celebi in there before, and there's the little Jirachi chilling in the corner. But yeah, we'll take that Latias, and we'll move it over to our, I think that, comp stands for, I think, competitive, or I guess as competitive as you can be. Also, there's my Suicune that I'm using for the Battle Frontier as well, which is essentially just a Crocoon build. If you know what a Crocoon is from Generation 3, that's just, it's what Surf, Rest, Calm Mind, and Sleep Talk, which, you know, and with leftovers. So it's just, you know, kind of keeps stuff alive. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching this weird bonus video that I never thought was going to be made. And yeah, I hope you guys stick around for some new videos coming out in the coming week. I've got a weekly schedule now for videos as they come out, so I hope to see you guys here next Monday for another episode of Ratchet & Clank. See you guys then.